So I wanted to take a few minutes with this video to talk about 3 interesting PlayStation 5 stories, and if you could hit that like button on the video, thank you to those that do it, and as always, it's very much appreciated. Now, the stories I wanted to dive into today includes a PlayStation 5 exclusive possibly getting a new trailer soon, a major PlayStation Network store change could be on the way with how we buy games, and Sony confirms a recent leak. First, yes or no, are you buying the PlayStation handheld Project Q Lite, or Project Q as Sony refers it? Or not? Are you buying it or not? I'm curious how many of you have an interest in this handheld. I've seen some people I've spoken to in the comments interested, but I'm wondering what the rest of you think. So yes or no, are you buying the PlayStation handheld Project Q or not? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, diving into the first story of the video, PlayStation 5 exclusive new trailer soon. Reading from Push Square, Silent Hill fans could be eating well in the coming days if brash talk in the digital equivalent of the Mos Eisley Cantina is anything to go by. Insider Dust Golem, who leaked the news that Silent Hill 2 was coming ahead of the official reveal, posted on the Snitches Discord channel that we'd be seeing trailers for the remake, Silent Hill Townfall, and Silent Hill Ascension really soon. Further, it was intimated that this would be before the upcoming Summer Games Fest, which takes place between June 8th and June 10th, a little more than a week away. So this was posted on Reddit apparently 5 days ago and appears to have been partially proven already. When he said very soon, he wasn't lying. Silent Hill Ascension got a new trailer yesterday for those who haven't seen it. This is actually a similar situation to a recent leak for Sony themselves that was also recently just proven, which we'll talk about in the next story. But coming back to this, that's just one of the 3 trailers to be revealed very soon, considering he says they are ready to go and they're supposed to drop before Summer Games Fest, which starts on June 8th. They could be dropping in the coming days. Ascension is an interactive streaming version of the series. That trailer we got yesterday. Townfall is being published by Annapurna Interactive, who published other titles like The Pathless, Stray, Solar Ash, etc. I'm curious about this one personally. And of course, finally, you have the Silent Hill 2 remake by Bloober Team. This title feels like it'll drop this year, but I just personally want a date. That's probably the next trailer we'll get for this that'll have a date. Alan Wake 2 is already dropping in October. If this drops in October as well, that's a solid Halloween month, and you guys know that's my favorite time of the year. June 8th is next Thursday, so we have from now until then to get those 2 other trailers. Now, diving into the second story of the video, Sony confirms recent leak. So there's a good chunk to go through here. Let's try to break this timeline down. First up, after the PlayStation Showcase went live, we had Tom Henderson, known leaker, come out and write an article about how Sony needs another showcase, considering we barely got to see anything from first-party studios outside of Haven, Firewalk, and Insomniac, and 2 out of 3 of those trailers were CGI trailers. I don't really count Bungie in this situation, which was also a CGI trailer, but Bungie aren't listed as first-party studios, even though they're owned by Sony. And Helldivers 2 is a PlayStation Studios title, but it's made by Arrowhead Studios, who aren't first-party yet. I assume the success of Helldivers 2 will determine if Sony buys them out, and actually how much you end up spending on Helldivers 2, and future PlayStation games could be changing. We'll talk more about that in the last story of this video. But to continue with this one, in the end of the article, Tom stated this: "It's understood that a lot of games we're waiting on seeing are pretty much ready, so I'm not sure why Sony decided to wait this time around." Apparently, one of those games that was meant to be at the PlayStation Showcase was recently confirmed. This brings us to known leaker The Snitch, who posted this on his Discord recently. "Guys, I know some announcements that were not announced during the showcase. It's super weird. For example, a PC port which is coming in July. Someone asked him if it was a AAA game. He said yes. This was confirmed yesterday to be Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which is coming to PC July 26, and pre-orders for that are live right now. This seems to be one of the announcements that Sony held back from the showcase, and apparently there are others. The Snitch, we've heard, gets his leaks from searching videos uploaded in the back end of YouTube. That means there are potentially other trailers that Sony has decided to hold back that are already on YouTube ready to go. I wonder if one of them is the Silent Hill 2 remake trailer, maybe with a release date. But outside of that, I'm curious what else Sony has up ready on YouTube, ready to be shown. It feels like these other trailers could be dropping at Summer Games Fest or around that time, but you guys let me know what else you think Sony has ready to go. More PC ports, a Death Stranding 2 trailer maybe? Let me know down in the comments below.
Your campaign of destruction, cruelty, and wanton snobbery is over!
And now diving into the final story of the video, major PlayStation Network store change could potentially be coming for PlayStation 5 owners in the future. So for those who don't know, Sony stopped the usage of digital cards to purchase games back in 2019. You used to be able to go to GameStop or EB Games, for example, and get a digital card for a game, and you could redeem that on the PlayStation Network store. Websites online could also have sales to sell these digital cards potentially cheaper than what you'd buy that game for on the PlayStation Store itself. There's still ways to do this right now, which I'll talk about in a bit, but before that, let's continue with the story. So those cards were phased out back then, and the PlayStation Network Store was the only way to buy your digital games. Apparently, this has been brought up to be anti-competitive. Reading from PlayStation Lifestyle, the Romanian Competition Council, RCC, has opened an antitrust investigation against Sony for restricting sale of digital PlayStation games to its PlayStation Store. This isn't the first time Sony is being investigated for its walled garden. The company previously faced lawsuits against the practice, one of which was dismissed in the United States just last year. RCC says that Sony has reduced purchasing options for players, allowing it to charge high prices for games. Walled gardens have a point of contention in the tech space. When it comes to video games, however, Sony is the only console manufacturer that doesn't allow sale of digital game codes via third parties. So I'm not sure how well this lawsuit will actually go. I personally would love if they win and this spreads to the West. Being able to buy digital cards from third parties is another option to get a discount outside of buying physical games. In terms of right now, you can actually get PlayStation digital codes for some games, it seems. For example, God of War Ragnarok can be purchased for $30 US on CD keys versus $70 on the PlayStation Store. This isn't available for every game, obviously, but it's currently available in a limited way for some games. Could this lawsuit change anything? Maybe in Europe, but it would be great if this change could come to the West as well. But you guys let me know if you'd want to be able to buy digital codes from third parties, or do you not care? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you guys did enjoy this video, please hit that like button, as it always helps, and subscribe if you're new. I got new videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one. And welcome back to the after show. This is the part of the video where we have a little fun down in the comments below. If you're old, welcome back. If you're new, welcome. For today's thing, what I want you guys to do is to body, obliterate, destroy, and overall harass the comment section with Bring On The Fest. So Summer Games Fest is literally next week, next Thursday. I'm excited for it. I'm not expecting big things from Sony. I hope Sony has some presence there, maybe Death Stranding 2. But if you're excited or even at least interested in Summer Games Fest next week, destroy the comment section with Bring On The Fest, and I'll definitely heart those comments like I always do, because I appreciate everybody who stays to the end of my videos. And now I'll check you guys out on the next one.